Hi everyone, it's Harry the Soul Coach, and today I'm going to do another video on the Great Awakening. And I say the Great Awakening, it's the events that are taking place in the world right now. If you follow my channel, you've been seeing a number of videos over the last few months of really addressing certain events that have been taking place in this world. The topic, you could call it politics. For me, I call it truth. It's the important things that everyone should be paying attention to because everyone is about to go through an event and a lead up to these events, which is going to be once in a lifetime. It's called the Great Awakening for a reason. We are all going to be awakening to what has really been going on in this world. And for those that have been following along for the last few years, you can see all sorts of things. We have been born into a world full of lies. There's a spiritual battle going on, dark versus light. And there's been an evil system in place that have kept many good people as prisoners. It's modern day slavery. There's been a lot of other people that got caught in this bad system, and there's a lot of people that then sold out to the bad system. When you start linking all these crimes together, it is a criminal enterprise. It all links up like a snake to the very head, right at the top. The name Donald Trump, you'll see my page is a lot on him, and he's been influential in defeating evil, exposing evil, taking out evil, and bringing freedom, peace, and togetherness all over the world. There's a name that's been hated on for many, many years now. A lot of indoctrination, a lot of other people's beliefs and opinions put out and projected to the public to latch onto it. The name also triggers a lot of emotions, a lot of hate, a lot of anger. And all it's really doing is highlighting how much needs to be worked on inside of us. This awakening is a self-awakening. And life is a lot more than what we get shown on the external world, it's internal. Everything that takes place in this life is influenced by our feelings, our choices, our decisions. And it's so important to start understanding that we are in control of all of that. If you followed my channel, you can see that we are in full control. This is a military operation, and this has been a project for many, many, many years and generations to defeat evil once and for all. The world is now united. The technology has sped up the process and also allowed us to capture all these criminals because they're all on the World Wide Web. It's a spider's web, and they are the flies. They never thought they would lose because they've always felt that they've been in control. But lurking in the shadows have been good people, patriots, military personnel, people that we would never know their real names, have been doing a job for our freedom. A big shout out to everyone watching my channel that are interested in truth, that have made sacrifices, that have had to face a number of battles personally, with family, with loved ones, with friends. We've lost a lot of people along the way. And in that process, we've really had the harsh realities of the life that we have lived. It's been a big lie. It's been hard. It's been an educational journey. We're now more aware. There is an excitement if you really are paying attention because good is happening all over. The good guys have already won this war. This is the revelations. This is biblical times. And this is the year where we're going to start seeing more and more come out. Truth. And that topic of truth and conspiracy seems to be addressed to politics. And over the last few years, we can see that it trickles into every single part of society. So today I wanted to do a video on Eminem and the world of hip hop, because when I started looking into Donald Trump and really finding out what he was about and knowing that there have been good people fighting for us this whole time, it changed everything for me. Over the last few years, then I've jumped onto the Q posts and started seeing how amazing this military operation has been and how important Q has been, and the sole reason why most of the world are awakening up to truth, because at that time it was showing us what was happening at that time in real time, bringing awareness to all these things that we wouldn't even know about. With that awareness, people now start seeing through the lies, the deception, And it starts highlighting who is on the side of good, God, and the opposite, who's doing all they can to deceive the masses for their own personal gains, personal wealth, power, control, evil. Is a sick system. And some of the worst crimes you can ever think of. A lot of these crimes have been shown to us on the movies to get us actually used to knowing that these things take place, because it would have just destroyed all of us when we find out what is really going on. Some of the crimes are so evil that you could only label it as a conspiracy theorist and as conspiracies. You only could label it as conspiracies, and most people would accept that as a truth. Yeah, that's a conspiracy. They're lying again. They're making it up, because it is so outrageous. It's so outrageous, some of these claims, that a lot of people choose not to even go and step into that door and have a look what is really going on. So I'm talking about Eminem today because when you start finding out a lot of these celebrities initially and these names being put forward, that was gut wrenching. That was a kick in the teeth. That was a disappointment. And Eminem come up, and I show you what I initially saw of him. And because you get a whole download of information all at once, and it's shocking as it is, but it just, in the end, it's like, everyone's evil. Everyone's corrupt. All the people that you looked up to as a kid, looked up to growing up, people that you idolized, people that you respected, people that you learnt from, teachers, etc. All these names started coming out, and it was a disappointment. Eminem was hard for me when I first thought he was on the wrong team. And there were certain things in me saying it can't be. And you do all you can, first of all, to dismiss it all, like most people do. They go into denial. And then most people, when it comes to something that's more personal to them, choose not to go and entertain it. Why even go and look into it? So when I looked into it, I saw photos, I saw videos, I saw a music video created by Eminem, which was a diss to Donald Trump. And at that time, anyone that went against Donald Trump, which was a lot of the celebrities, I'm like, oh, they're not on the right team. You just naturally associate they're not on the right team. However, as we've gone on this journey, we can see the military operation that has needed to happen because it's optics. There's a lot of evil people in this corrupt system that operate in everyday life. They might not even be labeled as evil to most people because we just see them for who they are. But they're part of an evil system. And this is the hardest thing for people to accept. And let's give an example. Let's say that people are doing wrong and they're part of a little business together where they're stealing, they're making 100K a month for themselves personally, and no one knows about it. And they've been doing it for a long time. Yet they're actually conning a lot of people out of this money. They're stealing from others, and people wouldn't know it, but it's impacting lives. And then if people was to label that person, no, I know them, they're a good person, they're a lovely person, they wouldn't do that. If you're making 100 grand a month unlawfully stealing and no one knows about it, of course you're going to be a good person, but you're still doing wrong. So this is the next stage of this. When we talk about evil and all the horrible things that go on at the very top levels, which we're being shown, and we're continuing to get education on that, that whole system trickles down to, I'm going to call them clever criminals, fraudsters. They do money laundering, things, the silent thieves, you wouldn't even see it all. And this is where criminals are intelligent. They can work together as a uniform, as an outlet, as a group, an enterprise to deceive the masses. And there's less and less of them now since what's been going on since Trump first coming in 2016. This is a clear up phase, the biggest sting operation we've ever seen. So why Eminem is so important? Because hip hop is such a big, big audience in the world. Remember, people, this is a worldwide awakening. Every bit of corruption, every crime is going to come to the surface. We are all going to be shown it. A lot of people are going to be in for a real hard reality, full of soul slaps, because they haven't been paying any attention. They're lost in their own little world, lost in the matrix, and people closest to them are conning them, distracting them, deceiving them. loved ones. So it's going to be a big shock for a lot of people that haven't paid any attention. It's going to be a big shock for people that are looking, because we're going to be surprised. Everything that we've been shown is prepping us to get ready for something massive to come, which will then bring it personal. Things that take place within our lives, where we can start seeing how big this really is, how certain people have sold out for personal gains. Some people, even worse, sacrifice an eye for an eye. All these sorts of things we're going to find out. Suicides, people being stitched up. You're going to see that people work together to take someone out, and no one would know about it because it's all been cleverly planned for a long time. These people are sick, yet these people are stupid because they've all been caught. And now a lot of these clever criminals, especially in the truth movement, know that their time is coming. And when I say their time is coming, it's the exposing, whether the masses, the public, are going to find out who they are. And Q have always said they will never walk down the street again. So hip hop is huge. I loved hip hop growing up. Eminem was one of my favorite artists. I remember when his albums first come out. I'd even asked my mum, please, can I get Eminem album for Christmas? Because it was meant to be rude and it was meant to be aggressive. I got the album and I listened to it nonstop all the time. If you follow my channel, you can see that I love my words too. I love analogies. I love wordplay. And more over the last few years, I've really dived into the English language, the magic within it. And Eminem, he's amazing the way that he creates his lyrics and stuff as well. And what I've also realized going on this journey is that I have connected to God. I've understood God. I've understood this biblical war and the spiritual war we're in, where it is about defeating God and God's children. And all creation is God's creation, which has stuck for me for the last few years. So when you see a lot of these artists and we're told that they're evil, but you see their works and you see what they do and they create and they're authentic and the way it's delivered to the masses and received by the masses. If you look at Eminem, he is a rap god. He's the best of the best. And to be there, you have to be in God's space. And what I love going back now, listening to all of his stuff and actually listening to his lyrics, there was always meaning in his songs. And as a rapper and as an artist, a singer, you'll be able to relate to this, is when you create something and people steal it, they copy it, they imitate it, and then they go out and put it out as their own. That's huge in hip hop too. So Eminem was very vocal on certain things like that. And when he first come in, he was very controversial. Obviously being a white rapper, but he used to be outspoken. He used to call out a lot of people within the hip hop world. So going on this whole journey of truth, and you're seeing it is a biblical war, two sides, dark versus light. Within the hip hop world, and now when you look back, you can see the war's been going on even more vocal there. And you can see it in plain sight. And before you call it West Coast versus East Coast, it was bigger than that. There's a satanic agenda that controls or thought they controlled hip hop, and it had a massive influence in hip hop for years. And you can see the artists that got stung by it. You can see the artists that got sold out by it. And you can see the artists now where they knew about it. Yet there was nothing they could do because people did get killed. There was a thin line between industry music and real life. And a lot of gangsters, that was an easy entrance in through the hip hop world. And there's all sorts of shootings going off. Eminem, his friend, best mate, Proof, got shot in the club. And you see, I remember growing up, all these artists would lose someone because it was evil people that entered this industry. And when you go back now, you can see all the power of his lyrics. And so when he did that song dissing Donald Trump, which we'll come on to, if you look and also know that he is a lyrical genius, also know that he is a creator of all his own stuff. And the way that he delivers it as a flow, which can't be replicated, is unique to Eminem. He done it in a way that people can't copy. When you now see the cleverness of this and why it was important, because it pulls the whole world in, it gets everyone talking about it. The hip hop world, that satanic world, is run by a gay hip hop mafia. And you're going to see a lot of these rappers, and the big name that's out at the moment, P. Diddy, are part of that gay enterprise. And that was how they would use artists up and coming that were desperate to be famous or knew that they were good, or given opportunity, and they put them in compromising positions. So P. Diddy's name's been put out a lot, but he was like the equivalent of the Epstein, as in the Black Book, as Hugh Hefner, the Black Book. And then you hold them at ransom. You can control them. Justin Bieber, you got that clip with P. Diddy from years ago when he was just young, just being noticed. And whatever P. Diddy did, you can see that his intentions weren't good. So this whole gay hip hop world has been called out by Eminem for ages. When he first come out, he'd say, "You faggots." And remember when Elton John had to come out and defend him? Because Eminem wasn't just doing that as a blanket to all gay people. It is the hip hop world. The hip hop world, the word swag and swagger. Swag is secretly, we are gay. So there's loads and loads of documentaries on it. You can see it quite easily once you know. Just look at P. Diddy. Type in P. Diddy drunk in the studio and you'll see. With Fabulous and Jadakiss, you'll see it all. So Eminem's been calling out a lot of these people for years. And he almost did a job where he got in and got out. And for many years, like he's sober now, he hasn't really been in the public eye. And that's the same for many other artists, the ones that we all grew up with, the real hip hop. They've always taken a back seat. You hear about the mumbler rap and stuff as well, but that's been done on purpose because this war is much bigger than hip hop. And these people have been working as white hats within the hip hop world. And you're going to see more and more names come out to the surface, and we're going to find out what role they've had within their circles, within their genres. Everyone has had a part to play, and I've realized that good people have been fighting the silent war too. We just don't know about them. And they're so good that they're also able to hide in cover, labeled as the evil ones. It takes the heat away from what is going on as the whole operation. And also, this is about awakening to the truth, awakening for us, finding it out ourselves, doing the research, not relying on other people. For me, what was quite a good thing with finding out all these celebrities initially, where I thought they were all wrong, you stop paying attention to any of them. So you break away from idolizing and following the stars and having to think for yourself. Many people are still caught up with that. And the people in the truth movement, I am addressing a lot more because you listen to me. But we still do that now. Many people don't do any research at all. You watch pages, but you don't do your own research. You won't even go on Google just to confirm it or try to find a website just to see what these people have said. We just repeat it. We regurgitate it. We're like sheep. We're like parrots. And it's continuous. And certain names, like Tom Hanks, like Ellen, like Oprah, like The Rock, instantly get met with anger, negativity, Gitmo, taken out, replaced, CGI, worst of the worst, paedophile. These are all names that got us involved with it. Without those names, most people wouldn't come in. And then all the different signs and all the different videos that were shared at that time deliberately gets you now questioning. It's an entry point to this matrix, which is a darker matrix to the truth. Yet all those names that I've said, they're all creators. They're all out there now. And people find it very hard, but they won't look. They won't even go back to go and see who they are, what they're about, and who they're involved with, and their relationships with some of key people. They don't bother. So Eminem's another one. And I'm going to show you today how it's been very cleverly done. And the reason why I've done a video on Eminem right now is because his name keeps popping up. On Twitter, his feed keeps coming up. He's just released another track. There was a beef that he had with an artist called Benzino years ago. I remember when I first started following Eminem, you kept seeing the stuff about Benzino. He's been in the limelight again, crying on the podcast. And on this track that Eminem's just released, he's been dissing him even more. And I'm going to show you out, like, even how his name, if you just search Benzino trans, he was dating a tranny. So Eminem's been calling out these people for ages. The trans agenda, you all see it all now pushed in our face. In hip hop, it's huge. It's been like that for ages. When you hear these artists talk about the booty, that's a man's bum. Bitch ass. Yeah, you are a bitch for taking up the ass. Like, these are code words, and you see it, it's horrible. So they've been exposing it for a while, and this all comes back to Donald Trump. This plan has been going on for a long, long time, longer than most of us have even been alive. In fact, it has. It goes back to 1776, and before that, all the good people around this world, the Freemasons, the White Hats, the Illuminati, the Illuminated ones, have all been fighting evil. All those names that I just said are on the good team. The real Illuminati is the Illuminated ones. To be illuminated, you are Christ energy. You're conscious. You connect into God's energy. You get inspiration from God. You co-create with God. That's what all this comes back down to. It is us awakening to the truth. It's a Christ mass awakening, awakening to Christ. So if we look at it now as a worldwide awakening, and hip hop is quite a big industry, but Eminem itself as a celebrity, as a musician, as an artist, everyone knows who Eminem is. And a lot of people are influenced by Eminem. All of us growing up listen to him all the time. So we know who he is. But when we see the role that he's had to play and what he's had to done, along with other celebrities, there's going to be so much more appreciation. And when I talked about getting closer to God and understanding creation, when you go and listen to his lyrics, it is amazing. There's messages for us all the time. So I'm going to start off with, because you have to go back. Future proves past. You have to go back. The only way you can connect the dots. And you got to look at the messages that Eminem was putting out there. So my first question, do you trust George Bush and the Bush family? Do you trust the Clintons? Do you trust the Obamas? Answer's quite obvious, right? Well, Eminem was calling out the Bush family a lot of the times within his lyrics. And then he released a song called Mosh. So I'm going to share an interview that he did with Sway many years ago, but just talking about Mosh and the reasons why. And that sets a nice starting point to show that he's always been speaking out. And I really want you to grasp how evil these people are in hip hop. These are real criminals. They're gangsters. They're drug dealers. They will kill you without even a thought if they knew where you are and they knew you become a threat. So Eminem has had to take a step out because he's exposed a lot. So I'm going to show you the Q post as well. So we're going to start with this one.
Eminem, come on, man. This is big. I actually sat somewhere up there. Those were the VIP seats. You guys gave me way up at top, but I had a good view of the show.
Oh, I didn't do that thing, man.
That's all right, dog. I'd
have had you up front, you know, side of the stage or something.
You know what was great about being right there I was with the people from Detroit, and I kid you not, I saw grown men who had to be in their 40s to little kids who probably were 7 or 8, and every age group in between, singing along with lyrics. And to watch the reaction from this whole stadium of 45, 50,000 people react to you and watching you evolve to this point, I realized that your power has reached the apex now. So when you
it makes me nervous.
Yeah, you should be. So what did that feel like for you when you saw these people react? What goes on in your mind? Because you're a kid from a trailer park, you know?
Right. I mean, that is exactly what was going through my mind. It was like the power. You know, I always want to feed off the energy of the crowd. And the crowd was just ballistic. You know what I'm saying? Like stadiums the size of this and just packing them and selling them out. Mm-hmm. You know, it's amazing. Just when you think it can't get any bigger, it just keeps getting bigger.
Does anything transition for you as an artist? Now you realize I have all this power. I can move it to the left, I can maneuver it to the right, and all of these millions of people who bought my records will follow. Listening to your new album, you have the record Mosh.
Come along, follow me as I lead through the darkness, as I provide just enough spark.
As I lead you through the darkness, from dark to light. So throughout this talk today, I just want you to look out for the signs. And because he's a master with his words, he pops them in there because this has been going on for a long time, which I'll confirm shortly.
Now, Mosh is probably the most political I've seen you get, where you actually put yourself out on a limb and made some serious statements. What was the message, first of all, in Mosh that you wanted to get across?
Even though Bush is reelected, with what's going on in the war and, you know, what he's got our country into, you know, I felt like like I'd be letting a lot of people down if I did not come out and speak out.
No more blood for oil. We got our own battles to fight on our own soil.
And again, it's one man's opinion. It's my opinion. And last time I checked, you know, I had freedom of speech, but I felt like it was my duty to at least let people know the way I felt, and that's the way I still feel.
Until they bring our troops home. Come on.
Fuck Bush until we bring our troops home. Listen to the lyrics in that. That song is definitely worth listening to again. I actually done a meditation, and that song's in my meditation. So if you've ever done a meditation to Eminem, Donald Trump, and John McAfee, click on this one, and you'll be pumped from it after. It's a really powerful one.
Can we expect to hear more records in the future that make these kind of statements from you?
Well, I mean, we'd have to see. It depends on the state of the world, and I usually try not to get too political.
Yeah.
You know, Moss was just, I felt it at the time. I felt I wanted to say it and get it off my chest, and that's been the story of since my career began, I think.
Well, it makes an impact because at the shelter you had a microphone. Now that you reached this point in your career, it's like you got a megaphone, and when you say things, everybody's gonna hear, right?
So that was just to kind of show that and a lot of people said Eminem changed because he always used to do a jokey song to start off his album. Yet that was a good marketing catch. Like people would then pay attention, but you go and buy the album. And a lot of critics would say, oh, his songs when he was more serious on his initial albums, they were the most impactful. If you go back and listen to them, yeah, they were impactful. But when you're putting out these messages, you become a threat. And this is why I love going back to listen to them. And also with the Hollywood movies, you go back and watch them from a new perspective. They're telling us, they're showing us. And it might look dark, but they're telling us this is what is going on in the world. It is the truth. It's bringing our awareness to what is really going on. So I just want to show you the video of Dr. Dre that popped up this week. He'd just been interviewed a few days ago from another guy that I called out before, James Corden. And I've realized that he's had his role to play too. All these people have had their role to play because we are watching a movie. It's also distracting people from what's really going on because we do need to get snapped out of it. Unless you're willing to go and look for the truth yourself, do the research, confirm it on your own, you're going to get absolutely shocked by something. That's the point of this, because everyone has been impacted by it. Most of us have been slaves, modern day slavery, human trafficking. We've been trafficking victims. We've been moved around. We've been put in environments. We've been connected with people. And there's been a plan for that to happen. Knowing what the outcome will most really look like. It would be an investment deal that you put into and you end up losing. It'll be putting you in a situation where they try to get you in a position where you may cheat. And then they catch you with that and they use it for blackmail. Like you see all these stories all the time. This works in every part of life. So I'm going to show you the interview with Dr. Dre. It's a minute clip, but this was the other day. And then with the Benzino one, I'll also show you that too, because these were things where I'm like, oh, I've got to do a video again on Eminem. Because I said this in September in 2022, where I actually looked and I was like, oh, he's a good guy. And it just gave me this little spark that I knew that there's more good people in this world than bad at the top levels. And I realized that they needed to be at the top levels because people will then still pay attention. People are still waiting. When the Epstein list going to come out? And when is these celebrities going to get done? Yet they had no care about these everyday people that if you type in arrest just out on its own, Google, loads of arrests, human trafficking arrests, all this stuff is happening every day, but we don't want that. It's not the big ones. So these names that we think are bad have just been dragging us along. And I say Tom Hanks quite a lot. If you still think Tom Hanks is bad, you're lazy. And I'm going to say that it's going to trigger a lot of people, but you're lazy. And the reason why I say you're lazy, because you haven't looked any further. I've done a number of videos myself on Tom Hanks, which clearly proves he's good. He's a creator. He's still out there at the moment. Masters in the Air. Go and watch that with Steven Spielberg. Oh, he's evil too. What about Cabby? What about his Instagram? All those things. I've covered all those points in my videos. Just go and watch it. But when I say you're lazy, go and look at Tom Hanks. Everything he's done before you found out about all this stuff. It was 2018 when Cappy did those videos. Donald Trump was already president. Go back before and go back and everything that he's done Most people that hate on Tom Hanks have said he's taken out, he's replaced. Then you can't answer for how he's still doing it. So I'm saying you're lazy because you can go and look. If people get upset by that, fine, because people need to go and do the work. They need to now, because there's going to be a lot more names that we all think are bad because we've been told they're bad by people that are actually bad, deflecting you and distracting you from the real truth. So Eminem is another one. And Dr. Dre is, I would say, one of the most respected people in hip hop. He's the richest man in hip hop. He created the beats. He had that deal with Apple. People took a bite off the apple. That's the reason why they've been caught. Steve Jobs has had a big influence in all of this as well.
Was the first song you wrote together, was it, hi, my name is?
Hi, my name is.
Right.
That's the first thing that happened. Hi, my name is. I put the beat on and he just did that right away.
No,
and
so hang on, he goes in a studio, you go,
no,
oh,
we're in the studio and I hit play on it, doom, and he just went, hi, my name is.
Hi, my name is. What? My name is. My name is. Slim Shady.
It happened that fast, no bull. And then we went from there, and that was the beginning of this relationship. And I think he's the best MC ever.
I mean, I
Point blank, period. Of course, there are going to be arguments about that because he's a white guy. You
Right.
know, I don't think anyone that's rapping can touch Eminem on that microphone.
Worth watching the interview as well. James Corden, again, he's talented the way that he remembers all the lyrics and stuff as well. There's attachments that we have to let go of because we're watching a movie. So just also want to show you what other people have said about Eminem before, because Eminem knows what's going on and he's viewing it from the highest perspective and he knows a lot about some of these people who've done wrong. They do stay away from him. So this is what the game says about Eminem.
Of recovery.
Classic. I love it. Yeah.
Eminem's back?
Eminem is Eminem. If you notice in hip hop, Eminem is the only rapper that nobody ever wants a problem with, including myself, man. Eminem is like the most lyrically insane. Even when I was going at 50 and me and Dre wasn't seeing eye to eye, man, I stayed away from the white dude, because he a problem. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like Eminem, I don't think it's a rapper he won't slay. And you don't even want a war with Eminem. He crazy.
He was talking about how he was going to pick fights. If he were to come at you with like a industry beef, what would you have done?
Run. Yeah, Eminem is cool. You don't understand. I'm a hip hop artist and I'm one of the biggest ones in the world. You don't want a beef with Eminem. He shreds. He shreds MCs, like for real. And I ain't his best friend or nothing. I'm just saying, I understand that he can't be seen by nobody. Jay know, everybody know. You don't mess with the white boy.
All right, Gabe.
You don't mess with a white boy. But just to prove a point that he was ruthless and he would say things out loud. And then when you look back, you see the war actually was going on. Then you start appreciating like how amazing it was that he come in and made that influence. And it's the people like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and people around him that was so important. I'm going to quickly show you this clip as well about the hip hop industry. This was a really good podcast from Crazy Bone. I've shown this on one of my other videos, but just to show you the influence that these criminals had on the hip hop world and how people sold out with a message. And you can see a lot of the lyrics are quite dark and demonic and satanic and violent. And that's been for a reason too.
We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who receive funding from the government based on the number of inmates.
Mm-hmm.
The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons.
Mm-hmm.
It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies, and as employees, we'd also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. You could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic.
Right.
Two of the men who were part of the unfamiliar group grabbed the man who shouted and attempted to remove him from the house. A few of us, myself included, tried to intervene. One of them pulled out a gun, and we all backed off. They separated us from the crowd, and all four of us was escorted outside. My industry colleague, who opened up the meeting earlier, hurried out to meet us and reminded us that we had signed an agreement and would suffer the consequences of speaking out about this publicly, or even those who attended the meeting.
Damn.
I asked him, why was he involved with something so corrupt? And he replied, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we can do. And no, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we want to challenge without risking consequences. We all protested as we walked back into the house. I remember word for word the last thing he said. It's out of my hands now. Just remember you signed an agreement. He then closed the door behind him. The men rushed us to our car and actually waited until we drove off the property.
Damn.
So
the whole, and this was in 91 he's talking about. So this has been going on for a long time. And a lot of rappers would go to meetings and they'd sign NDA. And then people did face the consequences when you'd see someone else had been taken out or destroyed or something horrible had happened to them because they had that way of doing it. So they influenced the prisons and trying to get them filled up by inciting violence within the lyrics. So there's been a war going on this whole time. And that's why a lot of these artists that we grew up with, you don't see as much anymore. However, they know what's going on. And they know that they've had to be patient, like all of us had to. So anyone that's still moaning, other people have had to sacrifice their life a lot longer and put things on hold and operate in the shadows and hide behind different names and identities because they know what's going on. It's very, very important to understand that while some people are moaning, the people that moan, I find in the food movement, do nothing. They just moan. And I always say to people, why are we moaning now when we've won this war? It's exciting now. So I'm going to quickly show you, this was Benzino, and it was about a few months ago, but he was on a podcast talking about Eminem. He started crying. He was really drunk and stuff as well. I feel that this is all done on purpose because he's a nobody in hip hop. He might come on and argue with that. He's a nobody. He's only known because of Eminem. And to have him on this big podcast show, there's a reason. Like I said, it's pulling people in together. The topics are so important. So it's pulling the whole world together. And soon you're going to see even hip hop is influenced by the Clinton Foundation. And Hillary Rodham Clinton, if you type in Hillary Rodham lyrics, and all these artists talk about her for years because they influenced that arena. People sold out. So they made it big because they were following the agenda. So he was on here. I won't play it too much because it's cringy watching him. But Eminem dissed him loads. Used to call him out all the time.
Come on, man. I love Dave Mays. I love everybody. Really. I got pride, too. I didn't want to go out like a sucker. I love everybody, man. Eminem ain't no bad person. He belongs in hip-hop. It's a big racist problem in America right now, and Eminem could probably stop half of it. Like, bro, like, listen, all he got to do is come to the table and listen.
That's the message.
That's the message.
That's the message.
Fuck all I'm... Look.
But that's the message.
You see, he's off his face. So just recently, Eminem's done a video called Doomsday. I just want you just to listen to these lyrics here, because you'll see that he's saying about Benzino, it's the bit with two men in a bed. Listen.
laugh. Okay. What is the opposite of Benzino? What? A giraffe. Go with it. Never guessed you meant had the red wolf in a room with one single bed, 2 men. Shady man, you can. Yes, you can.
In a room you're in, single bed, 2 men. So let me just show you the clip with Benzino. Benzino allegedly dating a trans actress, Shauna Brooks. And Shauna Brooks did this post on Instagram. So there's a video where there's meant to be footage between Benzino and this guy called Raymond or Shauna Brooks. And you could hear a male's voice, which appears to be Benzino's. And it says, look, it looks bad for him to have a relationship with a trans woman. He would be judged harshly for it. And another person that I think is quite a hero within hip hop is a program called Power. You should watch it as well. Again, pushing the truth out there. Everyone that's on a self-development journey, if you're not into reading books, go and listen to 50 Cent's Hustle Hard, Hustle Smart. It's brilliant. And for teenagers, amazing. The way that he changes his life, the way that he adapts, the way that he let go of past stories, the way that he doesn't drink, he even meditates in it. It's a brilliant book. But he's been trolling these people for a while. 50 Cent further taunts Benzino with a tweet from the trans model out in their alleged relationship. So 50's had a big part of this. I mentioned P. Diddy earlier, and 50's been the biggest troll of P. Diddy. So I just want to take you then to why I know Eminem is a white hat and why he has had his part to play. Because a lot of people got stuck on he called out Trump on the video. I want you to pay attention to that video and actually listen to the lyrics, which we'll go through a few of them. Follow my channel, you follow Q. You'll see all the stuff that Donald Trump and Q, Eminem has it in his song. That's not by coincidence. And also, when I say that people need to do their own research, people need to pay attention too, because this whole journey now is about perspective. Things are changing. We think fake news are bad, but we control fake news. We complain about Joe Biden, Obama, but if they've done for treason, they wouldn't be out there. They've been replaced. It's game theory. It's done on purpose. If you still think that is Obama, then you don't trust Trump. Because Obama, treason, at the highest of levels, treason, is the worst of the worst treason. Trump wouldn't have let him out at all. So for optics, you replace him. So things like this, you have to let go of what you think you know, because we've been all shown a movie. The Awakening is about us having to come to logical conclusions, logical thinking, to see it all. So we're going to go back, first of all, to this video. It's 2004. And like I said, everything happens for a reason here. And Trump has been part of his plan all the way through. So he knows. Eminem would have been approached straight away because of his influence and how good he was.
When the shady party called and told me there's going to be a convention, I said, it's got to be a really big one, and it's got to be right here in New York. Because this is the best city anywhere in the world. Am I right? Of course I'm right. I'm always right. I'm Donald Trump. I'm always right. I know a winner when I see one. And Donald Trump is telling you right now, Slim Shady is a winner. He's got brains, he's got guts, and he's got Donald Trump's vote. Ladies and gentlemen, our great candidate, Slim Shady.
This is like an acceptance speech, but just watch what he says.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, delegates, and fellow citizens alike. Ever since I can remember, or at least until a few years ago, or a few hours ago, I dreamt about this night. Americans like you and like me. I mean, Americans like you and me, and like all of us, have been given hills to climb and the strength to climb these hills. And because we have made that hard journey, we can finally see the valley below. And what is below that valley, you ask? I don't know. But nothing will stop us from getting there. Why me, you ask? Why Eminem? Well, let me tell you why. If you would shut up for 1 second. Democrats and Republicans alike, and that other guy, they had conventions, and they look cooler than this one. But so what? So what? I say to them. Excuse me. And what am I running for, you ask? I don't run from anything. That's the thing. I tackle the issues head on. And on this very night, in front of all of you, my supporters, I have a chance to compete. I am honored by your support and hereby accept your nomination for the candidate for the shady party and stuff. Thank you very much, and God bless everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you.
And you could watch that and go, yeah, but that was just a skit. Donald Trump was just getting involved. No, it's all done on purpose. So he would have been spoken to back then with an assignment, something much bigger than this. And if you go back and start looking at some of his songs and the meanings and the lyrics and his partnerships, and also the way he calls out people, so important. So I want you to now watch we're going to go on to the video that he did where he dissed Trump. And this was in 2017. And again, I want you to pay attention to that year. Donald Trump was president then. So anything taking place in the public eye, we're in control of, which means all these messages like Tom Hanks and Cappy and all those, it was all under Trump. None of this would have gone on if you're evil of evil of evil at the top, wouldn't be allowed out. Like, think about it, the names that these people get attached with, evil beyond evil beyond evil. So actually before that, let me show you the 1Q post of Eminem. 1Q post is this one. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, he's with the Epstein Island and all the Epstein Island. Epstein Island is CIA operation. I'm starting to see that more and more now. Everyone keeps clinging on to the name Epstein, but again, it pulls people in. It was a setup to capture a lot of these politicians and these big court people, sellouts, these big tech giants, and all these people of influence hiding behind the shadows. They want power control at the highest levels. And this Epstein character out of nowhere seemed to be in control of everyone. So they wanted in. And it drew out some of these horrible Rothschilds and these families to his island. Again, capture them all. So this was that Rachel Chandler. And it says on here, look, Eminem, and it says this one case has the ability to bring down the many rich and powerful people, those who scream the loudest. So he's mostly gone in, got that photo and got out again, because there was so much hate for Eminem by certain artists, so much hate. And they would say, oh, he can't rap and stuff, but he's exposed a lot of them. So this one case has the ability to bring down the whole many rich and famous, powerful people. So that absolutely means nothing at all. But you have to then go back to that Donald Trump video before this, 2004. And then that video that I showed you about the prisons, they've been influencing hip hop for even before that. So people coming into hip hop would have been warned about that for good people. People write their own lyrics, create all their own content. The way that he does it as well, God. That's why he calls himself Rap God, Rap King. There's a reason. So again, I didn't see the Q post first. I saw him dissing Trump. Anyone dissing Trump at that time, I just assumed we're on the band. And when we go to the lyrics, all I want, I've broke this down. Listen to the lyrics. After you hear them all, you can't get away from it. So again, there's no such thing as coincidences. The year that he did it, with Trump, with the way that he's called out all the industry before, you're gonna have to start accepting that this was when he come out and everyone spoke about it. And there were so many people, oh, that was dope. They don't listen to the lyrics. They don't listen to it all. So I've cut a shoe on here, which is obvious that there's no bad things on there. It's just cleverly done with wordplay.
It's the calm before the storm right here.
Calm before the storm. Where have we heard that one before? And look at the title of this: Trump's cryptic warning ahead of the Iran decision, the calm before the storm.
You guys know what this represents? Well, maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm is
We have the world's great military people in this room, I will tell you that. And we're going to have a great evening. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Give us a hint on your answer.
Thank you, everybody.
You will find out. So the opening thing, calm before the storm. So we go back again. Listen to the lyrics.
Yeah, sick tan. That's why he wants us to disband, because he cannot withstand the fact we're not afraid of Trump. Walking on eggshells, I came to stomp. That's why he keeps screaming, drain the swamp, because he's in quicksand.
Drain the swamp. Again, hear that all the time. Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp. And that's what we're doing. Now, when I said it, it sounded very easy, and it was going to happen real fast. I didn't know the swamp was this dirty and this deep. I didn't know about the swamp creatures being as bad as they are. They're bad. But
so this video was 3 years ago. Look how happy he is. So people stressing out. If you're on Trump's team, just look at Trump. He's the leader. Follow the leader. What are you stressing out over when he's in control? We are in control. The military in control. What are you stressing out over? The stress is internal, and it's because people choose to hold on to it. We live a life where we want to moan about things, yet that moaning is inwards. We have to deal with them. We have to address them. We have to focus on them. Stop moaning, people. Enjoy it. But look how happy he is. But listen to
nobody can believe what we've been able to do, and I don't really believe anybody else could have done it. Drain the swamp. We're not finished yet, but we're getting really close. Give us 4 more years. Go out and vote. The most important election of a lifetime, maybe the most important election ever in our country. Go out and vote. Thank you very much.
So did you hear it? We're draining the swamp. We're not done yet. Give us 4 more years. This was just before the 2020 election when he lost. This 4 years has been our education to see it all. For the people that don't pay any attention to what's going on, to experience it all, to see the duality. There's such a difference. Biden, Trump, all these politicians and people actually doing the good work. You can see it all. The agendas, everything. And again, the way they attack Trump for all that stuff, the boomerang comes around. Because everything that, for optics reasons, what they're getting him done for, tax this, company that, holding records in Mar-a-Lago this, it just goes back onto them with the RICO Act, which is going to take them all down. So back onto that song again. So already we've got, and you've got to listen to it. The way it's done, it's so clever. It looks so serious because there's no music. There's loads of people just paying attention. Some of his lyrics that he says in there, like Trump's a bitch and stuff, but it's line for line. If you pay attention to it, also some of the words he says is actually the truth. Listen.
It's like we take a step forwards, then backwards. But this is his form of distraction.
We take a step forwards and then backwards. Future proves past. This is his form of distraction.
Then says he wants to lower our taxes. Then who's gonna pay for his extravagant trips back and forth with his fam to his golf resorts and his mansions? Same shit that he tormented Hillary for and he slandered, then does it more. From his endorsement of Bannon, support for the Klansmen.
So he does want to lower our taxes. He did. He did go after Hillary Clinton. He did endorse Bannon. All the things that he did do. But again, we just hold on to, oh, it's a Trump diss. Ready? This one.
Unless you're a POW who's tortured and battered because to him you're zeros because he don't like his war heroes captured. That's not disrespecting the military.
He don't like his war heroes captured. Yeah, because of course he don't. Bring our heroes home.
He's gonna get rid of all immigrants. He's gonna build that thing up taller than this. Well, if he does build it, I hope it's rock solid with bricks.
So he's gonna get rid of the immigrants, yeah. He's gonna build the wall, yeah. If he does build it, I want it solid with bricks. He's telling us.
Cause like him in politics, I'm using all of his tricks.
Can you not see how clever this is? So I'll play that one again, actually, because that was a listen.
He's gonna get rid of all immigrants. He's gonna build that thing up taller than this. Well, if he does build it, I hope it's rock solid with bricks. Cause like him in politics, I'm using all of his tricks.
And he's using all the tricks in this. So this is the last bit at the end of the song. Remember, in life, we seem to work in duality, and most of us can't even get a simple truth or the opposite. We are unable to make that simple decision. We need someone else to confirm it for us. And the problem with duality, because we are a three-part being, it's a triangle. If it's not one, people automatically think it's the other. A lot of celebrities have had to take cover because this is a real war going on. So they can't be seen to be liking Trump. The beauty of what he does in this is a lot of other celebrities then hide behind saying, Eminem, well done. And I'll show you the people that come up, some of the good people. But it keeps them out of the limelight because they're just on Eminem's team. So naturally, it's a shelter for a lot of people. And also, if you don't support Hillary Clinton, which most of these people don't, they hate her, they know what she's about. Instead of saying we hate Hillary Clinton, because that's dangerous back then, especially the people that are working as these contractors in MS-13 and all the other people that they had involved, then they use Trump as we hate Trump, like Robert De Niro. He's a white hat too. All these people have done it, like Taylor Swift, clever, very clever woman, inspirational woman. They're all good people. But they needed a distraction so people can't bug them, and also people can't go after him because you just assume, oh, we hate them too. But he says this bit, this is the last part of the song. If you listen to what he says, if you're either for me or him, you could be for both.
And any fan of mine who's a supporter of his, I'm drawing in the sand a line. You're either for or against.
And then he gives you a little hint. Says, I love our military and I love our country. The word love anyway on its own, but the military and the country. He's a patriot.
And if you can't decide who you like more in your split on who you should stand beside, I'll do it for you with this. The rest of America, stand up. We love our military. And we love our country.
So this is from the BET Awards. And when I say it's optics and it's bringing people out, getting people to speak about it, and like I said, the shelter, a lot of these celebrities come out in support of Eminem after, even some of the wrong uns too. But it's a distraction, it's clever. And again, the whole world we're talking about it, so we can come back to this point. So if you start looking at it from a bigger perspective, this war goes well beyond what we think of just Trump and MAGA and the deep state. It's every part of life. And because we don't know every part of life, we don't understand or appreciate what things go on. We don't know what is going on. The more experience we have of this whole creation, the easier it is to accept. And when certain topics in this world impact you personally or have impacted you, let's say racism, then people stand up and defend that topic. That's fine. But then they don't know anything else. So it's just a narrow perspective. If you look at the whole thing, it goes well beyond anything else. It's biblical. It's God's children. It's the children of the dark versus the children of the light. So watch this.
And the first response was from Snoop Dogg. He hopped instantly on Instagram and decided to make a video showing respect to Eminem. I'm not going to say what he says, just watch the video.
Yo, shout out to Eminem for saying some real shit. Eminem, I always knew you was a real nigga. We totally know you a real nigga now. Shout out to Eminem. Detroit, stand up. Eminem, real motherfucking nigga. So says Snoop Dogg.
So Snoop Dogg co-signed the freestyle, and usually what Snoop Dogg says in hip-hop goes. A lot of people listen to him, a lot of people look up to him. So once he did that, a lot of people followed. Ellen DeGeneres actually tweeted, "I love Eminem." That's surprising because Ellen DeGeneres at one point did not like Eminem because Eminem would rap about gays and how much he hated them back in the past in like 2001, 2002. So to see that was surprising. I never thought that would happen. J. Cole took to Twitter too and tweeted, "Whoa, rap god Eminem, thank you, potent." And then a fan responded with Donald Trump supporting Eminem back in the early 2000s. And J. Cole was like, wait until the internet sees this. It's going to blow up.
So that was the video that I showed you with Donald Trump. That's how I found it, because of this. That's a clue. That's a sign. The internet's going to blow up because of this when they find this. Meaning, go and look at it. Look what it said. Because if you know what's going on, know what Trump's about, Trump would never endorse anyone like that unless they had the role to do it back then. You wouldn't get close with him. So it's a lot more than this.
Various other celebrities took to Twitter, and of course, Colin Kaepernick had something to say. He simply tweeted, "I appreciate you, Eminem." And of course, Eminem shouted Colin Kaepernick out in the freestyle for kneeling during the national anthem. Diddy tweeted, "Eminem killed the shit. Fuck that. This is for Colin. Ball up a fist." T-Pain tweeted, "Protect Eminem at all costs." MC Ren tweeted, "The Eminem freestyle was amazing." Joey High Roller, aka Riff Raff, tweeted, "Yo, at Donald Trump, your boy."
Listen to the way that he even says after the guy narrating this knows that there's a gay hip hop going on. Watch.
Boy, Eminem kind of roasted you like honey ham. Are you going to drop a freestyle video response or make a diss track? Riff Raff, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Donald Trump's going to need a bunch of ghostwriters, OVO camp, Drake, to help him.
Over your camp, Drake.
Said, "Marshall, my motherfucking brother. Always make me proud. We the black delegation, us or else." Posting the freestyle on his Instagram as well. CNN even covered it, which was surprising, but not really, because Eminem is one of the biggest artists in the world, and he was talking about Donald Trump and politics, so of course they would cover it. The View early this morning covered it. Fox Business covered it. Basically every major media outlet covered this, and they gave their own take on it. And a lot of people who were once Eminem fans, people who are in politics, who are reporters, that were once Eminem fans have switched on him and said now he's a whack rapper and that he beats his wife and that he hates and wants to kill his mom. You know, lyrics that Eminem would spit early on in the early 2000s when he first blew up. It's just kind of corny to see people switch like that. If you're an Eminem fan, you're a fan of the music regardless, even if you don't agree with this freestyle.
So it just called out a lot of people, and it brought people out from the shadows into the limelight. P. Diddy was a name that was being shown to us all the time because that connects a lot of hip hop. But it's done deliberately at this time. And I'm going to show you Snoop Dogg, again, another white hat, friends with Donald Trump, and recently just come out. He said, "All I got is nothing but love for Donald Trump." But people go, "What about the video that he did?" Let me just show you.
That's rapper Snoop Dogg pulling the trigger on a toy gun aimed at a clown dressed as President Donald Trump.
And that was his music video where a man with an orange mark, obviously it's Donald Trump and bang, a fake shot. But these rappers had to take themselves out of the limelight of politics because this is a war going on now. And they've had to take a step back. And like he said, he's one of the most respected guys. I'm going to show you T.I. as well, who was vocals like Go on Eminem. T.I. has been calling out these people for ages. And you'll see in this video, there's Fabulous, Jay-Z, Diddy, all in there. And T.I. is sober. And you can see they're off their face. And you can see they haven't got a clue what's going on. But T.I. used to call out Diddy all the time. Diddy turned up to one of his events and caused a lot of chaos, and he got on the mic and told Diddy, get out of here. But T.I., again, one of my favorite rappers when I was growing up.
You mind saying what's happening to IG? Say what's up to IG. Yo, you heard? The live is live on Instagram. I mean, like, you can't light that up. Don't light that up, nigga. We're in the world. You dig? Hey, they called it the winner circle. They said it the winner circle. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that way. Hey, fam. I love it. Hey, was it loud? Yeah. Oh, we loud? That these niggas see the J. The young niggas don't know about the J, though.
Look how uncomfortable Fabulous is. And T.I. has put this as live, so they can't get away from it. Look at his face.
I respected it because my son got to see it. Like, you know what I mean? My son gonna be like, damn, you was on a magazine cover. He missed all my good years. You know what I mean? Nah, you still got good years, baby. We still doing it. I took my son to Dapper Dan yesterday. You know what I mean? He don't even get it right now. When he get older, he going. Yeah. One question about like to ask you. You dig? My other brother. Yeah. Got my other brother. That bad boy weekend is coming in June, and you know I'm not doing it alone. You did. We get Hustle Game with that bad boy Hustle Game. I can't wait. Collective. I can't wait. Everything's free. Fuck that.
If you type in T.I. And P. Diddy, you'll see all the things that T.I. has done to call them out. So all those names come out too. LeBron James was a person that I didn't respect in the end. I was like, he's a sellout to China. He's evil. He's satanic. He does the 666 sign. He's the best. Him and Steph Curry out there are the best. To be the best in the sports, that's God. To be the best in God, that's love. That's creation. That's flow. That's why you see a lot of sports stars when they're younger, they got all the talent, look like they're going to be the best, and then things change because they're not fully focused on what they're doing. So these top people, they've had their role to play, performing at the highest of levels. So I'm going to show you just a few more with Eminem and the importance of it then. So you saw that song, you saw the influence it had, it brought people out. You've seen that he calls out people in the industry. You see people now associated with him that have also been involved with this too. So then I wanted to show you where Eminem's had to play his role, like the MK Ultra. He's been MK Ultra'd, and he'd troll different news stations and stuff by doing things like that. So straight away, if you're in that hip hop world, you just think he's a sellout. He's one of them. He's been on the island. He's now MK Ultra'd. Look.
To introduce Marshall Mathers. Some of you may know him as Eminem, but he's going to join the Saturday night crew with our music intro starting next Saturday night. But folks, I want to take you to the world premiere of one of his new videos called Berserk. Take a listen. It's headed for the top of the charts. Rick Rubin, who was helping produce that with you, Marshall, when you did that?
Yeah, sorry. Live TV. Live TV freaks me out a little bit. No. Yes, I'm sorry. What was the question?
That was Mr. Rubin, one of the all-time greats producer. Huh? How long does it take you?
He just makes them feel uncomfortable. So that straight away, people think, oh, he's under the spell. He's being controlled. He's MK Ultra. There's a video of Shaquille O'Neal doing that too. And we would all just buy it. Yeah, that's what they do. It's optics, people. It's optics, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in hip hop, and a lot of hip hop artists have been taken out over this time and replaced. And they say it's Illuminati sacrifices and all these different things that we hear. They have been taken out and replaced. Game theory. And the people that are doing this crime, if they knew that other people are getting taken out, a lot of other people would just be shot and removed because their reliability, they know too much. It's the same what we're seeing in this time. Like I mentioned, Obama, they're being replaced because there's all these people in the system all around the world that we're also bringing out into the shadows. So Eminem goes after celebrities too. And I just wanted to show you how it all seems to come back to P. Diddy in the hip hop world, because it's all out at the moment with P. Diddy. He did a one called Kill Shot, and it was with Machine Gun Kelly. And I have a feeling that Machine Gun Kelly is also involved with exposing this stuff, but he's being used as a way of having a battle. But Eminem can throw in other lyrics in this song. And if you remember, 50 Cent had beef with Kanye West, and they do it against each other. However, I feel that that's all part of the plan, because obviously Kanye seems to know a lot more what's going on and very vocal about all the stuff that goes on in the industry, and especially in hip hop. So if you just read what he said in this song, it was a rap battle, and Eminem sparks Tupac's row after lyric accusing P. Diddy of killing the hip hop legend. So we all know that P. Diddy definitely involved with something like sending the orders to Tupac. I'm having Tupac still alive, and I feel like a lot of these artists know, but this is what he says in the lyric. Let me see if I can catch it for you.
Idiot's boss pops pills and tells him he's got skills, but tells the day you put out a hits, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out, they got the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out, they got Pac kill.
So he throws that in there too. So again, people are attaching all of this together. So as you can see from this, there's quite a lot of things that are linking up, especially with that song, the lyrics and the cue. But let me just confirm it even more. When he was on Jonathan Ross, have a look at what was on the comic cover that he was on. And again, I'll show you the cue post, how it all links.
Oh yeah, I had that hobby when I was a kid. Like I used to collect comics a lot, and I guess as I started to get sober, I kind of like fell back in love with comic books again. It was like, oh, this is dope. Why did I ever leave this alone?
There you go. There's Eminem on the cover of the Punisher, one of the Punisher comics, the recent one. That's got to be, you've got to know you've arrived when you're on the cover of the Punisher.
Oh yeah, that's how you know you made it.
Yeah. The hat you're wearing in that particular session, because it's red, it looks rather like, my wife has something like that.
The Punisher. So we go on the Q post. The Punisher is just throughout the Q post. Look, I type in Punisher. Equal justice under law as written, transparency, disclosure and accountability is the only way forward. The future of our republic at stake. Watergate times 1,000. Watergate times 1,000. So look, the Punisher, got again the Epstein. Some anon had the Punisher face to Pepe. The Punisher, look. A traitor's justice, the Punisher. John Durham's the Punisher. Look, God will judge our enemies. We'll arrange the meeting. When we're done, he'll claim Kenyan citizenship as a way to escape. So that's talking about Obama. Look, and you see Trump's pointing that in then. When I'm done, it'll be like you were never here, as the meme. Too many synchronicities. So just happens to be the Punisher on a national TV show, which again, if you go on YouTube and type in Eminem videos, that one just happens to pop up with all the other ones that he's done, because it's all important for us to connect the dots. So if you pay attention to what we're being shown at the moment, there isn't much to come out now. And it's almost leading us to a point where once it does start going like dominoes, it's just going to be one thing after another, exposing. And at the same time, the momentum building with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to win. I don't even think there's going to be an election, but November is going to be our gauge. And he's going to win the hearts of all the Americans, especially when the Americans are going to see all the other stuff that's gone on against him, us, and the world. And then these people like Eminem, Tom Hanks, Ellen DeGeneres, The Rock, Oprah Winfrey, vice president. All these names are going to come out too because they're celebrities. They're at the highest levels because they're the best at what they do. They're all in on this because they are the best at what they do. They've had cover roles to play. Taylor Swift, if you still haven't looked into any of Taylor Swift's story, you're stuck. All of her stuff is creation. It's all authentic. The most genuine person that you can see, writes all her own stuff, cares, spends time appreciating all the other artists and her fans and her message. To say that she's evil, yeah, she's done satanic in the videos. Well, people know she's God's children. They're going to attack her all the way she can so she can hide by wearing uniform. She's playing a role. We're in control of all of it. So they're told what to put out now. It just shows people are not connected with God or really truly understand what God is. It's all of us. It's our energy. It's love. It's flow. It's creation. It's harmony. So if you're getting triggered by any of this, you're not in your God space. And that's the truth too. Any triggers means there's certain things that we got to look at. And the beauty of it, people, is we've won this war, which I keep saying. So go and look and get your confirmations rather than being in that place of not knowing. And then all the people that you've relied on for information, they're going to be wrong. The truthers I'm talking about, the gatekeepers, deliberately to distract you, to hide you from the Q posts, to hide you from the fact that there are good people fighting for us, that their time is about to come up, that this has been a military operation in the process of removing all evil at every level. They know that. And it's going to get to the point where soon they will not be able to walk down the street again. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. For me, it was a good feeling knowing a lot of the artists that I did love growing up, and I did get inspired by, and I did love the way that they put their lyrics together and the meanings of their songs and what they stood for. My intuition was right. And when you start seeing the roles that a lot of these people have done, especially the ones that have had to put themselves out there for everyone to hate on, then you can start appreciating how asleep we were, how much anger was involved in that process, how wrong we've been about life itself, and you'll see how much more will come together. So this is a great awakening. This is at every level of society. And you're going to see a lot of the celebrities, the names that we were put forward as evil are not. It's the lower levels that you're seeing within politics, the MAGA party. They're all being put out in front and center stage for us to see. We're learning more about these people all the time. The names that I've mentioned, there's nothing new on them, apart from they're still doing stuff now. It was 2020, the entrance point to get us involved. Most people did the research on those ones, looked at the Instagram pages, the previous videos, and hold on to it. Don't look at anything else. Don't look at associate, nothing. So this is going to be a lot bigger. And I'm hoping, again, remember, this is my research. This is my perspective. This is my way of giving out free speech. And I do stand on it. I do back it up. So you don't have to agree. The one thing I'm going to ask is lose your negativity. No moaning. Pay attention to the comments as well, because some people will just leave a comment by reading the caption and looking at the thumbnail. And it clearly shows that they haven't looked at it. And they go, what about the Trump this? And what about this? And what about that? Because they haven't looked at it. That's common as well. Laziness. Unwilling to. So for me, I'm going to make quite a big point of this all the time, because we're so led by information from others. And great example, yesterday on Twitter, the Q Twitter account that a lot of people are following, but still unsure if it's real or not, posted that King Charles is now dead, and that just boomed around Twitter. Everyone's sharing it and stuff. And he did a few things on his Telegram today to show, look at the problem with this world of the indoctrination. It's not on the news, so it can't be real. It's not on the news, so it has to be fake. And then when the news put out a photo of Kate Middleton, everyone that said that now goes, oh, that's fake, that's not her, it's got to be CGI. So they still wait for the news to put it out to say it's fake, but because it's not on the news, it can't be real. That's a problem. That's what you got to snap out of. That's why we have to go and look at everything, put it all together, and then come to our conclusion based on the facts and our experience. That's it. And then apart from that, knowing that this is the revelation, so it is unfolding, more and more things are being revealed to us, presented to us, exposed to us. November the 5th, remember, that's when the election date is meant to be. There's a build up to it. Nothing's happening. You're just moaning now. Just let it unfold. Work on yourself. Try to dig a bit deeper into things. Try to see if you can come to your own conclusions and confirm certain things that maybe you were unsure of. You'll be able to look. Why are they still spraying the skies? Military, spray the skies, 5G, it's a weapon. This is a military operation. Think bigger, but go and look. Don't just repeat the same question that you've taken no time or effort to go and get the answer to. Don't be that person to be on repeat constantly, like a parrot, asking the same questions with no intention of finding the answer. Just have a moan, just have a say, just have a contribution. Stop. The fact that you're watching this video all the way through and the people that follow my channel, big shout out to you. Because a lot of the stuff I do put out is challenging, it is thought-provoking. It does go against the narrative that we're being shown. But I hope you can see that I do back it up. I do give my account for it. And I only put stuff out when I've done the research. Or I'll say, look, this is new. I'll put that out. What's your thoughts? This is what's come up for me. A lot of these things now I know are knowings, as in good people, because there's a lot more good people in this world. And the plan is so advanced that it's been planned for years. Goes so far back. That's a good feeling. And it's the first time in life where there's an outcome of only good, an outcome of evil being drained out completely, exposed at every level, removed. And there's a new world waiting for us of God's kingdom, the kingdom of heaven within us, and all the creation, all the architecture, all the wildlife, all parts of this land that we are yet to know about, we will start learning more and more. The technology, the science, everything. It's going to be special. So I hope you've enjoyed this, people. Again, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Please leave your comments and enjoy. The next few weeks and months are going to be very, very interesting. For me, find the cool bits, find the good bits, find the bits where you can bring joy to your life, and then meditate. I'll leave that one again of the Eminem meditation. You'll enjoy it. So take care, everyone. I'll see you all very soon.
I know a winner when I see one. And Donald Trump is telling you right now, Slim Shady is a winner. Am I right? Of course I'm right. I'm always right. I'm Donald Trump. I'm always right.